Paris, thank you for that live report. Springfield City Councilors are set to move forward tonight on a new project for a busy intersection. It's been the scene of multiple accidents over just the past few years.
Western Mass News reporter Glenn Kittle joins us live from Springfield with the latest information. Glenn?
Chris and Mary, the project is set to make the intersection more manageable for motorists, as well as improving sidewalks and driveways for residents and local businesses.
More road projects are on the way for the city of Springfield. This time it's an improvement project to make the intersection at St. James Avenue and Carew Street safer for motorists. In a statement sent to Western Mass News, Springfield Public Information Officer Ryan Walsh says, quote, "In the past year, there were 8 crashes at that intersection. None involved any serious injury." Springfield Department of Public Works Director Chris Signoli tells Western Mass News how they identify needs when it comes to road improvement projects.
We look, along with the Pioneer Valley Planning Commission, at crash clusters throughout the city. Where are there crashes happening? Are there rear end accidents? Are people going through lights? Are there sight distance issues?
One of the final steps before construction will be taken up at Monday night's City Council meeting is regarding property easements for those living on the road. Signoli tells Western Mass News they'll have to dig into people's properties to build new sidewalks and driveways for nearby businesses.
We're taking square feet, 5 square feet, 8 square feet, 10 square feet type of thing to be able to round off a corner and things like that.
But Signoli adds their plan calls for impacted residents to receive payments from the city, which could total in the thousands of dollars. He says once that step is complete, the Massachusetts Department of Transportation will start the process of construction.
It's a Mass DOT project. It's about a $9 million project. It's going out to bid in April, so we hope to be starting it this year, and it's probably a construction season and a half of work.
Now, Signoli adds that the new safety upgrades to the intersection will give motorists a better view of the intersection, as well as ease drivers' confusion about the lane arrangements. Reporting live in Springfield, Glenn Kittle, Western Mass News.
Glenn,